The awakening of 3I Atlas. It began as a whisper from the dark. A soft flicker in the deep ocean of the cosmos. At first glance, it was nothing remarkable, a small, cold speck moving silently against the black. Astronomers logged it, labeled it, and prepared to move on. But what they thought was an ordinary comet soon revealed something extraordinary. The object, later named 3I Atlas, refused to behave like anything they'd ever seen. It burned brighter than physics allowed, glowed green without the chemicals that should produce that light, and scattered brightness in patterns that made no mathematical sense. Telescopes across Earth and space turned their gaze upon it, Hubble, James Webb, Gemini, TESS, all aligning toward the same mysterious point. Yet the deeper they observed, the less it resembled a comet at all. Was it a cosmic wanderer? A relic from a shattered world? Or something designed and aware? When the Atlas Survey telescope in Chile first detected it, the data seemed routine. A bright icy object entering the solar system from interstellar space. Nothing alarming. But that calm didn't last. Within days, the illusion fell apart. 3I Atlas wasn't following the path or behavior of a comet. Its speed was staggering, its brightness unpredictable, and the energy it emitted from a tiny core was far greater than its size should allow. Then Hubble delivered the first high-resolution image. Astronomers stared, speechless. The nucleus, no more than a few kilometers wide, was surrounded by a massive, asymmetric coma that expanded 10 times faster than theoretical models predicted. Even stranger, its dust tail curved toward the sun, defying the force of solar radiation that should have pushed it away. At first, scientists blamed instrument error or atmospheric interference. But soon, every major observatory confirmed the same impossible behavior. The data was real, and it defied explanation. Even archival instruments designed to track exoplanets showed the object months before discovery. Its brightness had increased fivefold, as though it were waking up. And more unsettling still, its rhythm of light seemed to respond to observation, as if it knew it was being watched. Then came James Webb's turn. When its golden mirrors locked onto the interstellar visitor, what it found challenged every assumption of modern science. Using its near-infrared spectrograph, Webb detected gases streaming from the object, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and traces of hydrogen cyanide, yet no sign of water ice. That was impossible. Ordinary comets only become active when sunlight warms their frozen surfaces near the sun. But 3I Atlas was venting material in the freezing outer dark, far beyond where sunlight could touch it. Even stranger, the dust around it reflected light in structured waves rather than random scatter. Webb's analysis suggested the presence of metallic grains, nickel, iron, perhaps more, but arranged in ratios that couldn't occur in nature. It was as if the surface had been engineered, crafted with purpose and precision. Then came the glow. As it drifted closer to the inner solar system, observers from Chile, Namibia, and the Canary Islands reported a ghostly green light blooming around it, a hue that shimmered and pulsed as though alive. Comets turn green when diatomic carbon is excited by sunlight, but 3I Atlas was carbon chain depleted. It should have been colorless. Yet the glow persisted, vivid, unnatural, almost intelligent. Some proposed it was caused by unknown molecules fluorescing under solar radiation. Others suggested it was something deeper, a transformation awakening within the object as it neared the sun. The phenomenon blurred the line between chemistry and consciousness. Because if the light wasn't born of the elements we know, then what force was making it shine? The world of science divided. Many dismissed the mystery as an overhyped anomaly. But a few, like Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb, proposed something far more controversial: that 3I Atlas might not be natural at all. Its size, trajectory, and reflective behavior hinted at intelligent design, a relic of technology crossing the stars. Skeptics called it fantasy. Yet even they couldn't ignore the data. The polarization of its light was impossible to explain. It didn't merely reflect light, it bent it, twisting its polarization vectors into patterns unseen in any known object. It was as if 3I Atlas wasn't just moving through space, it was interacting with it, bending the very fabric of the medium it passed through. And that realization chilled everyone who studied it. Because if this object could respond to its environment, if it could alter the space around it, then what might happen? The transmission weeks after the first detection, 3I Atlas crossed the orbit of Mars. By then, it had already captured the imagination and fear of the entire world. Social feeds burned with speculation. Was it alien? A probe? A warning? But inside observatories and mission centers, the mood was far from excitement. It was calculation. Because the object wasn't behaving like a visitor at all. It was steering. Data from the Deep Space Network showed minute course corrections, micro-accelerations inconsistent with gravity or outgassing. It was adjusting its path, curving slowly, deliberately, toward the inner solar system. That motion sent a chill through the halls of NASA, ESA, and JAXA. For the first time in recorded history, astronomers faced an object that seemed to decide where to go. And then, on August 9, 2025, every telescope aimed at 3I Atlas recorded something impossible. A pulse. It began as a faint radio fluctuation, a whisper buried in cosmic noise. Within hours, the signal grew, repeating at precise intervals, every 73 seconds. Too structured to be natural. Too complex to ignore. At first, engineers thought it was interference, a reflection from a satellite, a glitch in the array. But as independent observatories in Australia, Japan, and South Africa confirmed it, the pattern became undeniable. A lattice of tones rising and falling like the rhythm of a heartbeat. The media called it the transmission. Scientists called it a phenomenon of unknown origin. The signal wasn't just sound, it carried data. Spectral analysis revealed nested frequencies repeating in mathematical ratios. Primes, logarithmic scales, Fibonacci sequences. It was as if the universe itself had begun speaking in code. And each pulse corresponded to the moment the comet's green glow brightened. Light and sound, bound together, an encoded conversation across the void. The world held its breath. Governments formed emergency panels. Satellites realigned their dishes toward the incoming traveler. Even the SETI Institute, silent for years, returned to the spotlight. For decades, they had listened for messages from the stars. Now, one was apparently coming to them. But the message was not what anyone expected. When the first full sequence was decoded, it produced a three-dimensional pattern of symbols, rings within rings, rotating endlessly, their geometry resembling the orbital layout of our solar system. At the center was a void, and around it, three luminous eyes. The press nicknamed it, the Triad Cipher. To some, it was a map. To others, a warning. And to the quiet few who studied the structure of the pulses, it looked eerily similar to the handshake protocols of digital communication. As though 3I Atlas was reaching out, waiting for an answer. Then the energy readings spiked. Solar observatories detected an electromagnetic surge radiating outward from the comet's core. For 38 minutes, every magnetometer on Earth twitched. Auroras appeared where no auroras should, over deserts, over equatorial seas. The planet shimmered as if brushed by a ghostly wind. And when the lights faded, the transmission stopped. Silence. Total, absolute silence. For 3 days, scientists tried to re-establish contact, to catch even a flicker of the pattern that had changed human history. But 3I Atlas had gone dark, drifting quietly toward the orbit of Earth. Its path now intersected ours. Predicted to pass within 0.03 astronomical units, closer than the Moon. People stared into the night sky, searching for the emerald glimmer they'd seen in the headlines. Some prayed. Some feared. Others waited, convinced the silence was temporary, that the next pulse would not come from space, but from the skies above us. And as the object approached, the instruments at NASA's Goldstone complex detected one final anomaly, a narrow band signal originating not from the comet, but from Earth's upper atmosphere. As if something had already answered back.